A father and son kayaking trip ended in tragedy Saturday evening. North Vancouver RCMP confirmed to City News the 70-year-old dad died after their shared kayak flipped into the water here at Deep Cove. The son survived after being rescued. The RCMP says the incident took place around 5 p.m. when the weather turned, casting gray skies and gusty winds. They say the man most likely drowned when the kayak flipped, and the BC Coroner's Service is now in charge of the file. The weather and cold water may have played a role in the incident. In light of the tragedy, people in the kayaking community are urging people to protect themselves on the water.
Know your limits, I'd say. Like if it's wavy out there, don't go too far from shore, stay near the shoreline, make sure you're not putting yourself in a dangerous situation where you're going to flip over and get stuck in the middle of a big body of water. That's really the most dangerous thing.
Mac Duncan is a seasoned kayaker, and he says he's been in many situations where he's flipped over.
The technique that you might see people do is like when you're underneath and you use the paddle to flip yourself. That's difficult and you need to practice it before you're able to do it. Usually you just fall out and you can reach over the boat and pull it back over. But if you're in one of these where it's a closed top kayak, it can fill with water and then you can't flip it back over.
Biggest thing is remaining calm, because the more stressed you are, the more oxygen you're using up.
Sharon Curran is a trauma nurse, and she says she practices caution every time she's out in the water. And if she ever capsizes in her kayak, she's got a plan.
Your heart is working harder, and basically if you're at a situation where you can't breathe properly, then you're going to run out of air a lot quicker. Sometimes people will swallow water and whatnot, so that's a concern as well. The best thing is to keep your airway open.
She says it's important that everyone learns how to conduct CPR, because proper chest compressions can be the difference between life or death.
Get them to a solid ground, dry them off as quickly as possible, get someone to call for help.
Duncan says, like all water sports, there are always risks, but with proper planning, accidents might be mitigated.
As you get older, maybe you don't have the same strength and ability, but I've seen lots of kayakers that are older. Like, it's a great sport for your whole life because it's low impact. It's something anybody can do. I think it's just, you have to be careful and things happen and there's risks, so you just have to prepare as best as you can for it.
In North Vancouver, Angela Bauer, City News.